202 million shares changing hands. Advancing issues are ahead of declining issues by a 7-to-1 margin. The broader market is sharply higher. The New York Stock Exchange Composite Index up 4.81. The S&P 500 Index up 9.5 points. The American Stock Exchange Index up 3 points. The over-the-counter market, the NASDAQ Composite, up almost 9.5 points. Crude oil prices are sharply lower. Traders optimistic about a short war and no supply interruption. On the New York Mercantile Exchange now, the U.S. benchmark crude is down $9.10. It's selling at $22.90 a barrel. And unleaded gasoline is down 18 cents at 64 cents a gallon. Home heating oil is also down sharply. In the credit markets, the Treasury's 30-year bond is sharply higher, but it's down from an earlier peak. The bellwether bond down 2 7/32, and the yield 8.20%. Investors are selling short-term issues to buy long bonds. Yields on T-bills are posting steep increases. The 3-month bill now 6.28%. 6-month low, the 6-month bill at 6.54%. Precious metals less attractive as a safe haven. Investors are selling. Gold now down $28.70 at just $375.80 an ounce. It's fallen more than $30 earlier. Silver is now down 17 cents. In New York currency trading, the U.S. dollar apparently stabilizing at sharply lower levels. The dollar now off almost 4 yen against the Japanese currency, down 3 1/3 pfennigs against the German mark, and off 1 2/3 cents against the British pound. We'll have another update in 1 hour. Now, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average up almost 93 points. I'm Jan Hopkins reporting live from the New York Stock Exchange.
I'm Jeff Clark in Independence, Missouri, where in a short time we will be talking to museum goers at the Harry S. Truman Museum and Library here about Operation Desert Storm.
The majestic California Sierras, powerful yet beautiful. Hi everyone, Ken Warren here in the California Sierras for the California Adjustable Bed Sierra Model. The Sierra Model will adjust to your every need. Just press a button and raise your head or feet. The Sierra Model has wonderfully warm, penetrating massage motors that massage you from your feet all the way to your shoulders. It feels so good and helps you relax so you can get a good night's sleep. Snuggle up to the Sierra mattress that's so comfortable it seems to wrap around you while you sleep. Here's information about the Spring Air Back Supporter Mattress.
Take away all the Hollywood, and it's just me, Vanna. Just someone who needs a really good night's sleep. That's why I sleep on a back supporter mattress from Spring Air. So I wake up feeling great.
So no matter where you live across North America, you can bring a little California living into your home.
Call now for more information at 1-800-538-2100. That's 538-2100.
That day, Emily and I went out for our morning ride, jaunting towards Mr. Thomas's bake shop for one of his hot English muffins with nooks and crannies. But to our dismay, it was closed. Our friend had gone off to America. In the weeks that followed, we would smile again, but that day, we carried our horses home.
Thomas's English muffins, for over 100 years, England's breakfast tradition in America's hands.
My Ellen's a ball of fire. She's a supermom to her 2 kids. A career woman up for a big promotion, but I'm scared, see, because, well, to handle it all, she's doing cocaine and marijuana, and it's changing her. And I don't know what to do.
Success can be very demanding. If you or someone you love is meeting the challenge with drugs or alcohol, ask for help. Call 696-5544, the Mills Peninsula Chemical Dependency Center.
Save up to 20% off national brands.
Just in from the French news agency, Agence France Presse, quoting a Kuwaiti cabinet member, a high-ranking Kuwaiti official, as saying that Iraqi soldiers have suffered hundreds of casualties during the fighting on Thursday with Allied forces. This Kuwaiti official also says he has been told
by 4 separate sources that an undetermined number of Iraqis were defecting. This official is identified as the Minister for Cabinet Affairs in Kuwait, Abdul Rahman Al-Awati, spoke at a news conference in Dhahran in Saudi Arabia. According to the French news agency, he said 2 doctors in Kuwait told him that 2 500-bed hospitals in Kuwait were filled to overflowing. No information as to just how full those hospitals were before the fighting actually started. However, the Kuwaiti minister says Iraqi soldiers have suffered hundreds of casualties during the fighting in the raids on Thursday. So we'll attempt to bring you more information, of course, details about exact numbers of casualties suffered on the Iraqi side. Very difficult to obtain with any certainty at this hour. We'll continue to find out more for you as developments occur. Back now to Washington and Reed Collins. Reed?
Well, Independence, Missouri is a city which for many typifies Middle America. It is the home, as you know, of former President Harry Truman, who was president during the final months of World War II and the beginning of the Korean War. CNN's Jeff Flock, who's been touring Middle America, has a live report now on how the folks of Independence are reacting. Jeff?
Reed, we are right here at the Truman Library and Museum. The artifacts and the mementos of the Truman presidency are here. Of course, Truman is the man who said, popularized, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. I guess it's fair to say, as some of the folks here have pointed out today, we are smack in the middle of the kitchen. All of the mementos here include, right to my right here, the table on which the original UN Charter was first signed. Of course, ironically, that is the organization that tried so hard to avert this crisis. Perhaps also, ironically, in another room of this museum, just a short time ago, a special exhibit was mounted. It is an exhibit on the Korean War. It is the artifacts from that war, the pictures, the mementos, the guns, all of the artifacts, including the newspaper headlines from that era. And if you look closely at that New York Times headline that you see there, you see that that is the headline that told America about the U.S. involvement in Korea. I guess it is sort of an eerie thing to take a look at that one and this morning's Kansas City newspaper and the first word of our involvement in Iraq. With me now, some museum goers. If you'd come on over, folks. These folks are from South Dakota, as it turns out, this morning. And these folks here have a son who is perhaps preparing to go and take part. What are your thoughts today?
I'm scared. I'm afraid that he'll have to go. I guess if he does, why, we'll be proud of him, but I don't like the idea of him going.
What about you, Dad?
Well, I think we should have got more commitment from other countries before we went in there, but now I believe that, like Truman would say, give them hell.
Yeah, ironic that we're here today, huh? Yeah. You gentlemen both served, and if you could come on around, why don't you just come on around, folks? You folks served in the armed forces. You spent, one of you spent some time in Korea. What are your thoughts? You folks have been through combat. You know what it's like. What are your thoughts about what's going on there now?
Well, I feel that it is, now that we're committed, that it is a thing to do now, and do it this is the time. And it gives you kind of an eerie, empty feeling, kind of a feeling of silence. And wait, hope it don't last long.
Of course, some of us, perhaps folks my age, don't remember what being in the midst of a war is like. You do. You've been through a few of them. What goes through your mind now?
Well, this is similar to the Korean situation because Truman had to declare war on the Koreans, North Koreans, in the 50s, and so the incident is the same because Iraq invaded Kuwait like North Korea invaded South Korea.
Understand. As we take a look back, perhaps, at what it looked like in Korea, we've got that other camera over in the other part of the museum. Someone pointed out to us that right now it's very difficult, as we've been reporting, to get really a sense of what that combat looks like. We've had some problems with censorship and with getting our pictures out of the Middle East. But they pointed out to us that you really don't have to look back very far to get a picture of what it looks like to have American troops in combat. And as we take a look at that picture from the museum here, it probably doesn't look an awful lot different. For now, I'm Jeff Flock, CNN, reporting live from the Truman Library here in Independence, Missouri, and we'll continue our look across the Middle West to show you what America is thinking.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Many of the squadrons active in the air blitz on Iraq are normally based at Langley Air Force Base in Hampton, Virginia. CNN's Tom Matier is in Hampton. He joins us with a live report on what life is like there now, the morning after the first Allied airstrike against Iraq. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Marianne. Or I guess it is afternoon now. The F-15s are behind me here. This is Langley Air Force Base, and 2 of the squadrons have been deployed into the Middle East. And as you look behind, there are very few aircraft here. 1 squadron is still here, and they are out training this afternoon. But in this empty ramp area, 2 other squadrons of F-15s, just like the ones you see here, have already departed and are the ones who were active over the skies of Iraq and around Baghdad. But there are still some here. 8 airplanes just left a few minutes ago. They're going down to Shaw Air Force Base and do a mock engagement with an F-16 group, so they practice against each other. We're going to talk to a lieutenant colonel here. The F-16s took off just a couple of minutes ago, and they probably in the next 10 or 15 minutes will be all the way down. There are actually a couple more F-16s taking off right now. It's been a busy time around here. They are training, they are working against each other. They're training for the possibility that they may have to possibly move into the conflict. But right now, they are in reserve. They are here at Langley Air Force Base. Joining us now is Lieutenant Colonel Michael Moose Moore. Lieutenant Colonel Moore, you were telling me you had kind of mixed emotions this morning when you've been watching the news and watching what the other squadrons have been doing.
Yeah, Tom, it's, I tell you, we're extremely proud of the guys from the 1st TAC Fighter Wing and all the guys that are over there. We're disappointed because we're not part of that action. We've trained for a long time. We thought we could be part of it. We missed it. So it's a mixed emotions, but we're extremely proud. They did a great job.
A little surprised by the lack of other airplanes meeting the F-15s and the other American aircraft, the inability of the Iraqis to put planes up in the air?
I think we're all a little surprised. We know what they have and their capability. Although the cover of darkness, we felt like that would be an added plus for us. I think that because we got in undetected as we did and probably closed their eyes before we actually got a lot of aircraft in there, it was our advantage.
All right, let's take a look here at this airplane, what it has and what it's capable of carrying as far as it is only used in the air. This is not the bomber version. This is what fights other airplanes.
That's exactly right. This is an air superiority F-15. It's the F-15C model. It carries 8 air-to-air weapons. We carry 2 Sidewinder missiles, the AIM-9 Lima mic on the outboard pylons. We can also carry 4 AIM-7 mics on this aircraft, which is the radar missile, which is our long-range missile. In fact, our knowledge right now is the reason the one kill that's been accredited to the 1st TAC Fighter Wing that was on the news earlier today, Captain Steve Tate, who we're extremely proud of. It looks like he got a kill with an AIM-7, so it looks like the weapons are doing great.
All right, so very quickly, we're going to take a look over here. This is the inside of the F-15, and it is extremely complicated in here. A lot of work, Sergeant Nelson, you have to do in here?
Yes, right now I'm inspecting the LOX compartment, what the pilot uses for his oxygen while he's fighting, and so he needs what he needs to breathe with, basically. And also we have other various components. I'm